everyone, and welcome. Today, we are talking about mindfulness and relationships. Our guest is Dora Pelizzari, a wonderful life coach who will help us learn how to be truly present with the people we love. Welcome, Dora Pelizzari. Now, you and I have known each other for a very long time.
Thank you, Teresa. It's so great to be here and to be part of this. Yes, we've known each other since we were 13, I think. That was my age, and we're now in our 50s. And honestly, viewing mindfulness through the lens of friendship, where they mirror each other, because when you bring the same curiosity, the warmth, and acceptance that we have experienced in our friendship, and we bring that same mindfulness to our own mind, you befriend your own mind because you become your own best friend too. Now that's mindfulness. And our friendship has fostered deep connection, curiosity. We're compassionate with each other. We care about each other. We listen actively. Now, those are all qualities of mindfulness.
I would like just to, because people out there don't know you, and I would like them to know about your career change, because I am very inspired by how you decided in your middle 50s to change careers. Would you like to share that with us?
Oh, Teresa, that's so sweet of you to be impressed. So,
It is, because not everybody can do that, but it
yeah.
makes you understand that it is possible. If you
Oh,
really want to
yes.
change your life, you can, and that's very
Yes.
inspiring.
There's many of us that don't enjoy the work we do. And I see it not so much as a changed career as it was more maybe a plan where I actually worked for a company that wanted to push us out of our comfort zones. So I began to explore, and under the guidance of a mentor, if you want to call it that, one of the members of staff that I work with, she said, try psychology. And everybody was, yes, yes, Dora, try psychology. So I started studying in 2010. I tried one module and I loved it. So I thought, well, I'll just push along. So I didn't count all the modules I did. I just kept going moment by moment as I could afford it and however I managed. So I worked um, 8 to 5
Oh, I remember
at
very
a
well.
job. I was also selling coconut oil and I just persevered, studying, studying, studying. Eventually, I graduated in 2020, okay? And beyond that, I pushed to go to an honors level. I started working though in the evenings, on the weekends, and I started my 100 hours that were required to become a member of a professional board of counselors. And yes, I changed my career. 2 years ago, I went full time into this. But as I said, I started the practice in 2020. So it was a goal. I set myself and I just persevered. I didn't get anxious about, oh, I must finish at a particular time. I just respected my own energy, how I was managing. I went slow. It took me 10, 12 years to get the honors.
Well, I think your
And
story is sorry. I think your story is amazing. So
oh,
well
thank
done
you.
for getting to where you are today. Um,
And thank you, Teresa.
so let's start with the basics of mindfulness. Now, many people think mindfulness is just sitting quietly alone, but how does mindfulness help us when we are with our partner or our friends?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And let's just be clear what mindfulness is. It means you are aware and paying attention in this moment here and now. You're doing it on purpose. So you and I are only in this moment. If you can just imagine that space, we're not judging it a good or a bad. It's kind of like a neutralness. You don't judge it, okay? You're consciously aware of each moment as it is presenting. You notice your thoughts. So we have an inner critic. We've got a judge, all of us. And the thing that we need to do is not be reactive, but to choose a response to the moment, a response to how we want to present ourselves, how we want to identify. So you stay connected in the moment. So that's why people think, oh no, mindfulness is sitting quiet and meditating. But
Okay.
it really is just being connected to your breath. Notice your feelings, become aware of your talk. And just to mention that it's been proven that if a person practices mindfulness for 2 months, okay, it improves your wellness. You start to feel healthier, you feel more content, happier. That's your well-being. It improves it because how you function under stress and your emotional reactivity, it's put on a pause because being mindful, you become more clear of your mind, you connect, you're more confident, it improves your concentration, it improves your mood, it improves your emotional regulation and your focus.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it's not something we learn one, two, three. It takes time, right? Is there a
Correct.
practical tip, like simple tip that you can give for someone that's starting? There's many, you could give us many tips, but just one, like that you think is important.
Okay. Focus on your breath. You just so if you're noticing that you're spiraling or you're having some kind of an emotion or something, and you want to be mindful of this moment. You want to rather be present, not hoping for an outcome, having some sort of expectation. See, that's where the mind goes. Mindfulness draws you non-judgmentally to the moment. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Breath. If you were to breathe through your nose, breathe again. So you're holding your breath. I haven't breathed yet. So you breathe again.
Okay.
Hold, and
Yes.
then you let your breath out. So that calming breath, where you breathe in your nose, breathe again through your nose, hold it, let your air fall out. It just brings you here and now.
Oh,
It
that's a
lets your
great tip.
brain know,
Mm-hmm.
be here.
That's a great tip. Um, so talking about controlling ourselves as well, no? So my next question is about arguments. When we get
Yeah.
upset, no, and it's very hard to think clearly, right?
Yeah.
What is a simple, quick tool we can use in that exact moment to stay calm? Would you say the breathing, or is there anything else we can do apart from breathing to
So now
calm
there's
ourselves?
argument. Yeah, there's argument, conflict. So what do? We stop. You can remove yourself and say, just one moment, let's just gather ourselves. Our emotions are too raised
Mhm.
for either of us to connect and to listen. Now, remember, the best way to love, build trust, and strengthen our connection is to listen. No judgment, just mindfully. Remember, mindfully is no judgment. I'm going to understand your perspective. I'm going to hear how you're viewing it and that you're having a reaction to something. Okay. So you just stop, you breathe, you can remove yourself, you can take a break. So mindfulness lowers that cortisol hormone chemical. Okay. Mindfulness just calms. All right. And in fact, it's like taking a little mini vacation, isn't it? Where we become mindful and you feel like, oh, okay, I'm calm. So get into the habit of being here now and into the habit of presence. Breathe. And then when you've told yourself, I'm safe, you're watching your thoughts, you're feeling under attack, there's an argument, okay, you're breathing, lower the cortisol, okay, so now you tell yourself, I'm safe. You're aware that your ego is trying to defend you. Okay, you might get into fight mode, or you have a fear. Okay, Mindfulness, you just tell yourself, I'm safe, everything is fine. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. You could even just put your hand on your heart and you could say, I'm safe. Listen. Defensiveness is where we want to be right. So we don't want defensiveness. In mindfulness, we're going to now choose a response, and we're going to be aware of the impact that what we are about to say and how it affects the person.
Other person. Wonderful.
Mindfully choose your response. Yeah.
I was about to say something about, I've lost track now. There was something I was going to say, but now I've forgotten.
That's okay. It comes back.
Yeah, it'll come back. Yeah. Well, you've
Yeah.
given us a lot of things to think about. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other aspect as well is in relationships, when we are in a conflict space, we get into relationship patterns where we either become like a victim, or we take on a bully role, or we become like a critical parent, okay, which is a bully anyway. And what we're trying to seek when we're in that sort of situation is returning to our wise adult self and respond from that space, adult to adult. And you might witness that in the person that you're in a bit of a state with. Where are they? Are they being a critical parent? Are they being the victim? Are they in their wise adult space? You need to reach adult to adult. And that dissipates the aspect of being a victim and blaming, or being a bully and attacking and critical. You want wise, compassionate, adult, listening, responding.
So, do you think that if we change, we can get other people to change? Do you
How
think
can
they
it
will
not?
change if they see
Yes,
some changes in the way we relate to them?
absolutely. I often use the example of a balloon. So if this is a balloon and I'm changing, so I squash the balloon here, does the other side of the balloon change or not change? It changes. If I squash the side, it gets bigger. So like the fancy professors, Einsteins of the world, they always say it's energy. And as your energy changes, it ripple effects changes the energy around you. So if you're going to present with a calm energy, or some might call it an aura, if you start to represent a calmness, a compassionate aspect, a non-judgmental aspect, and you enter into that space, the ripple effect will create an energy change around you. Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you so much. And I hope that we're going to have another session together.
I hope so too. And I really look forward to being with you again. It's been absolute fun meeting up with you and being present in your presence.